am not worried about my weight, okay? I don't even get on the scale at all anymore because that's not what my goal is. What I'm talking about here, I want something that's gonna feed your soul. Not only feed your body and your mental health with exercising, but just feeding your soul to feel good about yourself. Hi friends, so we made it over 100 days now. I have been walking around 2 miles a day, sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but usually more. I've been closing my Apple rings every single day for over 100 days. For those that don't have an Apple Watch, it's like a fitness tracker where you have your goals for the day, and if you accomplish those goals, it closes the ring for you. So the goals are broken down into 3 different categories. You have the amount of your move goal, which is the amount of calories you want to burn throughout the day, your exercise goal, how many minutes you want to exercise, and your stand goal, which means you stood up at least 1 minute per hour for a certain amount of hours. If you're curious, my goal is 710 calories a day, exercise for 30 minutes a day, and my stand goal is 12 hours. So for over 100 days, I think this is day 102 that I'm filming this, I have been closing my rings every day, and that includes walking almost every day. There's only been like maybe 5 or 6 days out of the 100 days that I didn't walk and I just walked indoor. I did a walking video indoors, not on a treadmill, but like an aerobic kind of walking video. And that's only because the weather was really bad. Maybe it was raining all day. It doesn't happen that often because usually I just wait for the rain to go. But yeah, I am really, really, really proud of myself. And I can honestly say now that this has truly been a lifestyle change for me. This is now a part of my life. I look forward to exercising now. I look forward to closing my rings every day. I look forward to this 30 minutes of really showing up for myself, taking care of my body. It feeds my soul. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel proud about myself. It makes me feel more confident. It makes me glow. A lot of you guys are saying, oh my gosh, you're glowing. I mean, a piece of it is the lighting, but I don't know. I do feel like I'm glowing. I feel like I'm vibrating higher and I'm just at a different frequency, like a higher frequency. My soul is at a higher frequency. And if you don't know what that means, like either you know or you don't. It's just like vibrating low is equivalent to certain feelings like anger and fear, grief. Those are just very low vibrating emotions, and higher vibrating emotions are like joy and peace and happiness. And that's really what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling this way by accomplishing my fitness goals of just showing up for myself, taking care of myself, taking care of my heart, getting my heart healthy, remaining healthy at 41 years old. Like, I just feel really good because this year, 2023, 2020, me, honey, I am showing up for myself. And I preach about the importance of showing up for yourself in every single one of these videos. Now, this is my third update video on this health and fitness journey that I'm on. And I'm just feeling really good. I'm feeling really good. But before we dive into this update, I'd like to thank Factor for sponsoring today's video. As many of you know, I've been working with Factor for years at this point now. I really, really love what they have to offer. So Factor basically is a meal delivery service that delivers fresh, never frozen meals to you, pre-packaged. All you have to do is poke a few holes in it, pop it in the microwave, and you have a dietitian approved meal for you. It tells you how much protein is in it, the macros and nutritional value in it. And I love the fact that they have different kind of meals for all types of lifestyles, whether you're keto, you're paleo, vegan, all of that stuff. They have a choice for you. And I love it because we live a very busy lifestyle. My kids go to swimming 5 days a week. And it's hard for me to cook lunch a lot of the times for me and my husband because my husband works from home as well. And so it's just easy for us to just pop these in the microwave, and then you have a healthy lunch that's full of protein, and it's really, really good. Like I said, it's never frozen. So it's like, it's fresh and it tastes delicious. And so it's like takes a little bit of a mental load off of my plate for trying to figure out what we're gonna have for lunch. Now, sometimes we do eat them for dinner because like I said, When the girls get home from school, we're ripping and running, going to different places. And sometimes it's easier for me to just pop these in the microwave and they're done and everybody eats. And so I really, really love these. It just cuts down on grocery trips for me and meal planning. And that is a plus, especially when I'm in the season of life that I'm in right now. And I also love that every meal has 30 plus grams of protein in each meal. And as one of my fitness goals, it's really to focus on protein, making sure that my body gets enough protein to sustain me exercising like this and weight training and moving my body. The protein is really important. So I love that every meal has that. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code GIA40 to get 40% off your first Factor box. Again, that's factor75.com and use the code GIA40 to get 40% off your first Factor box. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring today's video. And thank you guys so much for supporting Factor, because trust me, you will not regret it. All right, so let's talk about this month's update, because I think the last time we talked, I was around day 77 and now I'm at day 102. So we are a full, well over 3 months into this. Again, this is not a want anymore for me. This is a lifestyle now. This is a habit now. Like I wake up and I think about when I'm going to close my rings for the day, depending on what I have planned. And it's just a part of my life now. And I really, really like it. I love it so much. I love this woman that I'm becoming. You know, I've talked about wanting to be this woman, the it girl for me in my head. That it girl, she works out every day. She's already in me and she's coming out slowly but surely in different areas of my life that I'm focusing on. The decluttering is part of that. The decorating, the exercising, taking care of her body, really being conscious of what she puts into her body and eats. And it feels good. It feels really good to be her. And so me exercising every day, it just feeds that. I did want to talk about like some of the comments that I get in the last couple of videos. Some of them are like, well, you don't say how much weight you lost, or you don't share how much weight you lost. Listen, I am not worried about my weight. Okay, I don't even get on the scale at all anymore, because that's not what my goal is. And if your goal is to lose a quick 10 or 15, 20 pounds, you know, wanting to do a fad diet, trying to learn how to lose weight quickly, there are plenty of YouTube videos on here that talk about that. What I'm talking about here, I want something that's gonna feed your soul. Not only feed your body and your mental health with exercising, but just feeding your soul to feel good about yourself, okay? To have a lifestyle change, not to just lose the weight really quick and then go back to your old habits or go back to your old ways. You know, now that I'm 41 years old, I look good, don't I, girl? Now that I'm 41 years old, like I'm focused on my health, girl. I'm not worried about trying to lose 15 pounds. And that's another thing. I'm not going to subject myself to feel a certain way if I'm not a certain weight based on what society tells me I should look like. I'm not about to feed into that. I don't want to feed into what a certain body shape or based on what's in style now. Not everybody's body is different and beautifully made. You know, not too long ago in the 90s, my body style type, like thick and curvy, that was not in at all. And it made, you know, young girls or young women who look like me feel insecure because they weren't rail thin like Kate Moss. And now that my body type, curvy and thick, is in, maybe you are thinner and now makes you feel a certain way because you're not quote unquote in. That is horrible for us to do to ourselves, to our young girls, to our daughters who are looking at us and wanting us to change our body based on what society says is in style right now. No, you've got to love your body the way it is, the way it's built, okay? Because you only get one body. You can't change, well, I mean, you can pay and surgically change the way you look to fit a style, but who wants to do that every decade? Okay, so you've got to learn how to love yourself and not feed into what society says we should look like right now. You know, it's one thing with fashion, but when it starts to glorify certain body types, it's just, I just don't want to feed into that. So that's why I'm not getting on the scale, because again, I don't want to feel discouraged, or I don't want the scale to deter my confidence or to deter my motivation. Because I used to be the type of person that would weigh myself every single day. Every single day I would weigh myself and see what I lost, what I gained from the day before, and it would make me feel some type of way. I mean, is it motivating in a sense? Sometimes, but it could also be the opposite and say, oh, well, I'm not losing weight, so why even try anyway? No, that's not the kind of attitude we want to go into. We're well past that stage. We're way more mature than that. And I'm not even talking about age here. I'm talking about your mental maturity, about not really worrying about what the scale says and worrying about, you know, how you're feeling inside, what your energy level is like, how your heart is working. Is it healthy? Do you have brain fog? How are your cycles? That's another thing that nobody ever talks about, is your cycle and how your diet really affects your cycle. Okay, and that's the other thing I want to talk about, is how my cycle is changing because of this. It's a lot, I feel like it's a lot healthier. As I got into my late 30s, and this might be TMI, but listen, we're family, okay? We talk about these things. As I got into my late 30s, my cycle started getting really heavy, a lot heavier than what it was before. And I would start getting, you know, pains in my groin, really bad, sharp pains in my stomach. And I just wasn't used to that. And I thought, well, guys, I guess I'm just getting older and this is how it has to be. But as I started digging into more research and looking and talking to my holistic doctor and stuff, you know, I started doing, you know, exercising every day, and that helps move a lot of energy out of your body, you guys. A lot of stagnant energy that just doesn't like feed you. You gotta move to get it out. And that has really helped my cycle. Not only that, but I use castor oil on my lower stomach now. And I feel like that has really helped my cycle. I feel like my cycles are back to the way they were when I was in my early 30s. And that is a huge plus for me, because that is something that I wanted to focus on a lot. But not only that, it also, exercising has helped me with my skin. I don't know, but I feel like my skin has been popping lately. I don't know. It's just, there's so many benefits that you don't even realize. You kind of like, you know, just take for granted. Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, my skin is glowing, and yeah, gosh, my body looks good naked. Like, I look really good. I'm not trying to brag on myself, girl. I do. This is how I'm feeling. And you should feel this way about yourself too. Like, you deserve to feel like this about yourself too. Now, I know it's motivating to see physical change in yourself when you're putting this work in. But I want you to also count all those other changes, like the mental clarity and your mood, how your energy is increased and how you're happier by exercising every day, how you feel the dopamine increase and the endorphins increase from exercising every day. And those are wins too. And motivating too, and not just your physical change and your physical body, looking at your physical change in your physical body. But today I'm going to share with you how I look. I mean, I can't share how I look naked, but I will share how I look with my bathing suit on, so you can see how I look after 100 days. And maybe we'll compare it. We'll start comparing that every single month. Okay. How I look in my bathing suit every month, just once a month, so we can physically see the change. Because I know it is motivating. I get a lot of comments asking about, particularly about weight loss. And since I don't get on the scale, because I feel like it just doesn't benefit me mentally to get on the scale like that, it maybe will be beneficial for us to see a physical change in myself. Oh, the other thing that I'm working on is focusing on my hydration, because I did notice that I was starting to get a little bit dehydrated. It's a lot warmer here in Georgia, and I don't always have time to go and walk early in the morning. Sometimes I have to walk like at 2 or 3 o'clock, and that was okay, you know, last month in April, but now it's starting to get like 85 degrees here. And I'm noticing that I'm starting to get a little bit dehydrated. And I realized just the other day I had like a really bad headache, like bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a headache like this all year. I used to get them a lot last year, maybe 2 years ago, where it's just like the pressure in my ears, it's like unbearable. And like my head, it's like a sinus headache behind my eyes. Right here, sometimes it's a tension headache. But the other day it was like all behind my eyes, my ears. I had a lot of pressure on my ears. And I used to have to just take a Sudafed. That was the only thing that would help. And Sudafed is almost like, it gets you really, really hyper. I really didn't want to take that this time, and I really wanted to focus on my hydration. So I started putting a little bit of salt. I have lava salt that my sister got me from Iceland. I put it on my tongue and I drink the water, and I take my oil of oregano. I talked about oil of oregano in my last video. If you want to know what supplements I take, tap this eye right here to watch that video, because I talk about that. But putting a little salt on your tongue and then drinking your water will help the water to hydrate it hydrates your body at a cellular level. Because usually, like, sometimes people drink a lot of water, but they're still hydrated. The water just kind of runs through them. All of a sudden, you're just going to the bathroom a lot of the times. But if you put a little salt on your tongue, because it's a mineral that we need. I'm not talking about table salt, Morton's table salt. It has to be like Celtic salt, pink Himalayan salt. But you got to be careful with the pink Himalayan salt, because that's kind of like a buzzword now, and they're like labeling things pink Himalayan salt, but it's not really sourced properly. So, but your best bet is like Celtic sea salt. Put it on your tongue, drink your water, and that really helped my headache. It really, really did. I did take like a cold and sinus, because I felt like I was outside a lot, and maybe it was my sinuses that were acting up, but I hadn't had to take something like that all year. So now I'm really focusing on my hydration, making sure that I put that lava salt on my tongue every day, and I drink my water, and I do feel more hydrated that way. So that I'm making sure that I'm hydrated as it gets warmer and warmer here in Georgia, because it's only going to get hotter and hotter from at this point on. So I just want to make sure that I'm hydrating my body. I encourage you to hydrate your body as well. Anytime you drink coffee, you have to drink more water, because coffee is a diuretic and it's kind of dehydrating, and soda and juice and all that. I really cut all that out. I don't drink it at all. I sometimes have like maybe one ginger ale. Right before my cycle comes, I'll feel like I want a ginger ale or something like that, or I want something sweet like that. But other than that, it's just water. And so you want to definitely feel like you're hydrating. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at me in my bathing suit so that we can hype ourselves up. I encourage you to do the same thing, girl. You have to love yourself and hype yourself up in the mirror as well. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll be back. Here I am. Okay. I feel like my body composition is definitely changing, and I feel like I look good. I feel like I look good. My boobs are a little big. They're a little on the bigger side, but your girl is looking good. She's looking real good. And you know, like I said, you just have to hype yourself up. You have to be the one to hype yourself up. You can't rely on anybody else, not your spouse, friends, nobody. You be the one to hype yourself up, because you are fine. We all have something beautiful about ourselves, you know? So here I am, 100 days of walking and just focusing on my health. And here she is, you know. Am I as small as I used to be? No, you know, but it is what it is. As long as I'm living the best fitness life that I can live, and I'm doing that right now. I'm working out, like I'm indulging sometimes, but not completely restricting myself. And I'm just like making sure I focus on, you know, whole foods and not processed. And there I am. So, boop. Here you go, girl. Her waist is getting snatched, I feel like. This is me sucking it in. This is me not. So, it is what it is. And I'm happy with it. All right, my friends, that is it. How are you feeling on this journey? We are at day over 100 at this point. And so many of you have started this journey with me from the beginning. Some of you have started as I put these videos out, and I love hearing your stories in the comments. I try to respond and heart every comment, because it makes me feel like we're in this together. You know, it's not just me sharing my journey. It's you sharing your journey with me. I love it so much, because, you know, we're in this together, and I want us all to win. We all need to be that girl, whatever that girl is, whatever that definition is to you in your brain. Just know that you could be her. You are her, okay? And we just have to make changes and take little steps to become closer and closer to the lifestyle that we want to live. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And hit the subscribe button. Girl, we have fun over here, okay? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I love you guys so much. And thank you again to Factor for sponsoring today's video. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.